Dreams Connecting Capital.
Hello everybody, I'm here with Ilan Kirkel, the Group CEO of Capital Connect Group, and he's here to share with us what CCG is all about and how CCG can help your business. Mr. Ilan, welcome to the show.
Hi, thanks Gary, appreciate you guys having me back on your show. I believe we're going to be talking about human capital as well as RP, intellectual property, stroke intellectual capital. So I'll hand back to you.
Alright, wonderful. You mentioned something called intellectual capital. What is it? Can you explain to the viewers and to the business partners that you're inspiring what capital is?
Of course, with pleasure. Intellectual property and intellectual capital, as far as my background and understanding goes, and insofar as sort of plugging it into our program stroke platform, we've developed partnerships with companies such as John Road Brokers, Unitel Marketing, Music Content Management, companies that we've sort of added value in so far as assisting with their group development, group business development. And we've tapped into our intellectual property, our client base, which going back I've developed over sort of my career, those being relationships, clients I've done business with in the past. So what we've done is gone back to them. We've put in place, for example, MCM, the Music Content Management offering. It sort of competes in the music industry in terms of retail background music, licensed music. We've got some fantastic clients like Sorbet Group, Sorbet Man, Planet Fitness Group, Planet Platinum, Jam Clothing. Moving on to like John Road Brokers, they do commercial lines, short-term insurance as well as personal lines. Going into 2016, we're actually going to be running a services office from the head office in Randburg. That's not going to detract from the media partnership we have with Larry Gresham, the Group CEO of Unitel Marketing, where sort of CCG head offices in Melrose Arch. So I hope that gives you a bit of a better understanding of intellectual capital, stroke RP, which we sort of safeguard. What I've just touched on now is sort of very brief. We manage sort of a corporate client base of around 20,000 upper end CEOs, MDs, directors that runs throughout South Africa, Africa and overseas. Through our partnership with CCG Mobile, we have access to about 53 million records that runs throughout South Africa, but that would differentiate from the sort of top LSM to the low LSM, which we sort of package for various clientele. I mean, different clients require different demographic sort of data, so that touches on CCG Mobile.
CCG Mobile. Okay, we'll get to that.
Okay.
For the partners to understand, for other SMEs that want to join up with CCG, what is your unique selling proposition to them? What makes you different from your competitors?
Well, competitors, I can't really think of anyone who sort of does what I do and what we do. Sort of I refer to you as we because we've recently joined the team, CCLIVE, and going into January we're launching CCGES Enterprise Solutions, where your colleagues Alan and Tamza will be joining us as well with Kirkel and the rest of sort of the people we work with. Our virtual offering sort of is something very unique when you touch on USP, and gives us sort of that competitive advantage because we sort of do sort of practice the utmost confidentiality insofar as the work we do for our clients and partners. Obviously being John Road Brokers, they're a short-term insurance company, but we rely heavily on our relationships. I know it's sort of not unique, but I often say to people, we're in the business of friendships, relationships and partnerships. And that sort of comes back to intellectual capital because you, for example, you have your own network, your family in Africa, in South Africa, and like that is a prime example of sort of your RP. I have my RP, Tamza has his, and Kirkel has hers. So, you know, no one really can sort of, unless you really do something stupid and make a major mistake where someone says, Gary, I'm not going to be trusting you with my business. But we don't really aim to lose clients. To date, just over the 3 years that we've been in business. If you go onto our platform, you will see all the clients are still there. We haven't really lost any clients. Not to say that we're perfect. Everyone makes mistakes. But going into the new year, where we launch our new program, CCGES, the software and the new CRM system, I think it's going to be making it more new generation approach. Because unfortunately, using things like Excel and normal tracking systems, as the business, thank God, has grown to where we are now, it's very difficult for myself, the sort of the boutique team that we have, to be able to be all things to all people. So we're trying to create focus, and I think that's what's created an opportunity for you guys to come on board and work with us at our services office, as well as to go talk to the media, go and talk to our other partners, target new business, because if we're not targeting new business, we're not growing. And that's sort of where the plug and play comes. New business is sort of developing new IP, new clients, new relationships, looking after those, at the same time playing client relationship manager, looking after existing. So if one's not looking after existing, we obviously lose to competitors in the market.
Thank you so much. And then I had a question. Capital Connect Group, it's a big company, and it's inspiring people, it's bringing people together, it's making new ventures in business. But what is it going to be for the individual out there?
Yeah.
Like the young black person, the young white person, the young people who don't know anything about business, but yet they are actually aspiring to get into business. How could you help them as individuals?
Yeah, that's a very good point. Coming back to CCG, we actually are very much a fledgling company. We only started over 3 years ago. I often say to people when I'm doing a pitch, we're a speedboat as opposed to the large cruise liner. We can move quicker, we can get to places quicker. We are a very small team, we're not trying to grow to 1,000 people. Not having said that, we do work for a number of SMEs and large corporates. Obviously the large corporates have a large human capital base of staff. And at the same time, that's where the Winners Group, for example, who came on board with us over 6 months ago, the Winners Group, we're the Joburg office for. We do a lot of work in the staff incentive space for top achieving staff, directors trips, long-standing service awards. It's basically, like you touched on briefly, it's appreciating your human capital. If you're not looking after your staff, you lose staff. And companies, I've seen people, I've read articles where companies and CEOs think it's a positive thing to have a major staff churn. Why would one want to churn staff? I mean, I try and look after the people I work with. I have been criticized in the past for being over loyal. I rather work with people that I know and trust, that trust me, as opposed to being questioned on my integrity. So just to answer your second question, how do we educate the public? One thing about me is, and a family member said it to me in the past, is that I sort of live my life. I'm outspoken, I'm out there, I want to share, I want to inspire, and that's not something I really get paid for, but I want to give back. I've sort of bounced back more than once in my life in terms of sort of hitting the bottom, and so I want to give back. I've come back, and I'm grateful for that, and obviously we all need to make a living, and we need to survive and have good holidays and drive nice cars and set those goals. But at the same time, there's underprivileged people. We do work with CSR projects and various charities. So as we become more and more successful, we do want to work with communities that are sort of not as privileged as we are. And in the sort of second to third quarter of next year, we want to launch our own foundation. We have discussed that with you guys, which you will play a major part of, and we will make a percentage of our profits allocated towards our own sort of NGO foundation.
So what inspired you as an individual and the team that you said at CCG to come up with this company? What was your inspiration?
My inspiration was probably soon after losing everything, if I could sort of put it those words, when I started to get back on my feet, is I sort of went back to the people that I had a proven track record with. And when they gave me a second chance and said, you know what, Ilan, why don't you come and operate in my offices? So someone, for example, like Larry Gresham, who's one of my biggest clients and media partners, and why I'm so loyal to him is because he basically said to me, Ilan, why don't you come and run your business in my offices in Norris Arch, where I've been the last nearly 2 years. So that's one example. And the other examples, most of the people I actually do work for are the people that I have a proven track record with. And then there's the second half, like the Winners Group, for example, where my name was sort of put forward to, they were looking for someone that tried in the past to set up an office in Joburg, and they came back. They wanted someone on the ground here, and yeah, we're doing some great things together. And I'm also very grateful and fortunate to have the Winners Group, who you guys will also be exposed to assisting with. Kirkel works closely with them as well. We've got a fantastic team in Cape Town at the offices in Woodstock. David van Skalkwyk, the founder, and Peter de Haas, both who have sort of cumulatively probably over 40 years experience in the industry. So there's an exciting sort of flair to the business as well, from the media, the music, the travel, and just sort of bringing it home. I've always had a passion for private equity. That's sort of the underlying business. We have set up an investment holding company, and that sort of lends the opportunities with you guys, where we're going to set up a company, we're going to empower you guys, the Kirkel is going to be part of the action, and that's sort of my giving back. You know, when I see talented individuals, as people have sort of seen my talents, sort of helped me develop on my potential, you know, I share the same vision, and I've got the same sort of business approach. I want to grow through partners. I'm not someone who wants to be dictating to staff. I find that sort of an old school approach, and that's the sort of old generation, and us sort of coming in with a new approach, sort of empowering people. And that's just not black economic empowerment. I see white empowerment. I see Indian empowerment. I see, you know, it's not sort of a
non-racial thing.
Correct.
So, apart from you, where can other people get this information that you're sharing with us today? Where can they get it from? Do you have a website?
Yeah.
And where are your offices stationed? So that people in 2016, they can actually come and actually know more about CCG from the team that is already on the ground.
So what we're doing going forward, I mean, Kirkel is who's sort of our sales and marketing executive. She works closely with me in managing processes as things have grown. David van Skalkwyk has identified sort of the growth. Him and Peter, they've been excited. The other sort of team in Cape Town. So what we did was we've appointed Kirkel, whose focus is the Winners Group as well as CCG. You guys have come on board recently. We're in the process of inviting various media players to partner with us, and we're going to sort of be doing CCG Live. We will be doing outbound roadshows as well, where we will be talking to schools. We'll go into underprivileged areas, schools as well. So we don't just have a corporate SME drive and large corporate drive. I mean, we're looking to assist people where we're not sort of going to be making any money. Maybe when they're older they'll remember us, but as someone sort of taught me, I mean, it's not always about making money. I mean, I often will, on a bad day, give a beggar £2 and it'll sort of make me feel better. You know, so it's sometimes giving back can actually be my own inspiration.
Alright, thank you so much.
Pleasure.
Alright.
Thanks a lot. Thank you.
We have guys from the group CEO of Capital Connect Group, Ilan Kirkel.
CCLIVE, the voice connecting capital.